Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back. It's EU playoffs time. Let's go. I am joined today by the incredible Boom Diata, usually these days stuck in the production booth, finally on the mic this postseason. How you feeling, Boom?
I'm good. Thanks for asking. I mean, doing a bit of everything, doing some coaching, doing some prod, doing some casting now as we're here for these EU playoffs. Shout out to, of course, presumably our EU viewers here, where it's evening for them. We've got quite a match on our hands today, Fletch. I mean, GrillMasters, the number 1 seed in the EU Open division, our uncapped division. Have not lost a single match, and in our previous tournament, how many maps did they drop again? Just so that we're on the same page.
Yeah.
Uno.
They won the mid-season tournament pretty easily, only dropping a map to White Boy Primal in the grand finals. But speaking of tournaments, let's we can get a look at our bracket as it stands right now. You see up at the top, we've got our match this evening. It's going to be GrillMasters versus Golira Esports. Golira finished the regular season at 5-3, so not too shabby of a regular season, above 500. But one of those losses was a crushing loss to GrillMasters shortly before the mid-season tournament. They lost 3-0 in week 4 to GrillMasters. So, Golira gonna be looking to get a little bit of revenge here.
Yeah, I mean, quite little insight on the picking for this, because we've got a format where top seeds pick their opponent for this tournament. So obviously, GrillMasters being the number 1 seed, were first to choose, and they picked Golira. I was on the opponent picking stream with good old Hunter, and they basically said, "Hey, we want to pick Golira just because it was Will from GrillMasters as the representative," and it was just like, they've got a silly little guy who's a little too goofy and needs to be put in his place. And that would be Horrocks from Golira Esports. So, backstory behind that is basically the two of them used to be on a team together. Not much to it, They were very confident going into this tournament, which understandably, given their record, right? Dropping a single map in mid-season, not losing a single thing. They said the second best team is clearly White Boy Primal, and, they only dropped 1 map to them. So, Golira, on the other hand, they're like, easy 3-0. They said they'll put up a good fight. We'll see how exactly that fight is going to pan out here, Fletch.
Yeah, but, let's take a look at the fighters in this battle. It's going to be the GrillMasters up first. It'll be Exodial and Will on the DPS, Eyes holding it down on the tank, and Yoham and Straybor on the back line. So a great lineup, 9-0 in an 8-week season. So, pretty scary. But on the other side of the coin, we have Golira Esports. It'll be Rift and Corsa on the DPS, JJPT on the tank, and Mine Rabbit and Horrocks holding it down on the back line.
Yeah, so a little more about these players. They've said that both teams really like to play a brawl style. Golira Esports opting as for kind of Rhine Rush, or just good old goats as their favorite composition, favorite meta. On the other hand, pretty similar for GrillMasters. They had general brawl meta, like running the zombie comp. Wonder how much of that we'll see today, given how the current meta is panning out. Although, if we do take a look at our first map pick here, which of course goes to our higher seed of GrillMasters, we're on Lijiang, a pretty good brawl map, especially between Control Center and Night Market.
Yeah, I mean, Lijiang Tower, obviously one of the most popular maps to have ever been in Overwatch, and also one of the most popular brawl maps. So, it does lean towards the strengths that, Golira wants to play. But obviously, GrillMasters being our higher seed and picking Lijiang Tower, they're confident that they can take it to Golira like they did in week 4. So I'm interested to see, has Golira leveled up since their last meeting, because they didn't actually get to make it to the mid-season tournament. So this will be the first time they're going to even have a chance to throw a punch back at GrillMasters since that last meeting.
Yeah, again, I both teams said they like to play the brawl. Again, like we said, a map for it. The thing with the current status of the meta is, as we've seen, in the Owl playoffs, Bastion is incredibly strong right now, despite the fact that he's gotten 2 nerfs. His ultimate, with its buffs, is just really incredible to combo with either Gravitic Flux or a Terra Surge. And he just puts so much damage out. I mean, the buffed 836 tactical grenade through a Baptiste window, boom, you just ricochet that off and kill 2 squishies with 1 shot, right? So, unless you're the London Spitfire, it's going to be a little difficult to run a Rhine brawl against a team that knows how to play Bastion. So if these teams do opt for the brawl here on Lijiang, I'm kind of expecting to see the Orissas or the Sigmas here, because they're a lot more capable of dealing with the Bastion with their cooldowns, with their resources.
Yeah, I think the Sigma has been, along with the Orisa, the Sigma poke has actually gotten a lot more play on, other maps than Circuit Royal. So it's been fun to watch. You haven't seen much of a Sigma meta since Overwatch 2 came out, other than on Circuit Royal. So I don't think we'll be seeing Sigma here. Golira Esports, we saw it in the pre-lobby. Y'all didn't actually get to see it, but they were hovering the Reinhardt, which is what they're going to come out on, it looks like. But GrillMasters hovering something very interesting with the Doomfist of Pharmercy and the Lucio, which, Lucio Mercy, not really a traditional support composition, but, I saw it work yesterday for some reason.
I mean, they could be... I don't think they're doing any, let's troll the casters and the stream here. I think they genuinely want to play this composition, right? I see the vision. You've got double flyers in the sky of, obviously, gardens here. You have this enormous central pillar to play around and a skybox that goes straight to space, right? And then you just let the Doom kind of do his own thing, and the Lucio as well. Golira, on the other hand, opting for a very conventional brawl with the Symmetra, with the Mei, already anchoring onto point here.
And we see Exodial on a bit of an off angle through the window, just pumping in the damage with those damage boosted rockets from the Pharah. Golira is going to take the first flip, but nobody has died yet from either side. So this fight has yet to actually begin. Eisnom on the Doomfist, going in there with the slam, trying to get a punch off, and it's going to be Exodial that starts it off. It's going to be a trade onto Eisnom, but JJPT is going to go down, but Rift says, I don't need a hit scan to take down Exodial on the Pharah. So that is a 2-for-2 trade, with Golira still getting that percentage up on the point. Now they're trying to take down Will, and Horrocks takes down the Echo. Yoham will get the resurrection on to the Echo, though. Exodial comes back with that barrage, happy to drop it on Rift's head, but Mind Rabbit puts Straybor in the dirt. So it looks like Golira Esports slowly but surely is going to bring it back, and I mean, Eisnom just falls off the map.
I mean, that's just very well played from Golira Esports. That's exactly how you play this composition into the enemy, right? You bunker the backside of point, specifically towards White Room, not towards Dojo, and you just deny the Pharah and the Echo from getting any kind of poke angles onto you. Obviously, you know...
Okay, so the Flyers trade, Will kills Horrocks, and somehow JJPT able to pin Exodial. But Eisnom is happy to come in here and, you know, even up the fight, and that will be GrillMasters taking the point. And oh, okay, I was about to say a really late window, but they don't have a Baptiste. That's Will in the dupe, and GrillMasters going to take the flip.
Yeah, so GrillMasters finally able to find that in. Again, it's a little difficult because, like, a good Mei, right, can absolutely just shut down Flyers, because once you're forced onto point, you don't have the advantage of really being a Flyer, of playing in the skyboxes. We're going to see the barrage dropped by Exodial picking up Rift.
That's a great pick on it to the Mei of Golira Esports. Shatter comes out, Eisnom on their back. So very low, does not have that get out of jail free card. And Straybor and Eisnom will go down to that microwave that Corsa has put out. Rift with the final blow onto Exodial. Golira takes the flip, and they're really close.
I mean, I think GrillMasters might have overcooked and burnt the kitchen with this. I mean, we're going to see ultimates come out, but I don't know if they can do much with them.
Blizzard comes out from Rift. Eisnom able to get out of there. It will be Will that gets frozen by the Blizzard, though. They'll be lucky if they get the res off here. And it looks like they will, and Eisnom is going to take the advantage here. So a great pick there after the res by Yoham. JJPT under a lot of pressure, and Mind Rabbit actually is going to find Will again. The Echo goes down for a second time, and it's an even fight as JJ goes down in the fight here. So it is Will for Eisnom. Eisnom so low, but able to survive, take down Mind Rabbit, and the rest of Golira is going to follow, but they've got an uphill battle here as they flip.
I mean, I think Golira just kind of used their ultimates a little too early, not being patient enough with them. The Blizzard didn't really get any value. Quite an early beat as well, and Rift pays with it with their life. GrillMasters now, they're looking at a bank of ultimates. You've got both double Flyers looking for this barrage. Exodial!
Exodial dropping right behind Rift. They're not ready for it. Mind Rabbit, though, is going to get the trade, and unfortunately, Mind Rabbit is all alone on point, and Exodial is happy to take those fights. And now, as JJPT careens off the map, I mean, it's a little bit closer now.
Yeah, I mean, the retake with this brawl is a little difficult because you have to not get spammed out on your rotations, right? You're kind of forced to rotate through White Room, and it's very easy to get caught out, as we see GrillMasters trying to catch them here.
It'll be Rift, though, able to take down Straybor, and Horrocks dropping the beat to make the team a lot more durable. The duplicate out from Will, not going to find the value that they wanted in that backline, and with 2 dead, I mean, GrillMasters is, you know, straining to try and keep this fight alive. Exodial once again trying to put out the damage through the window, but it's actually going to be Exodiel that finds the final blow onto themselves. Will actually, though, going to flip this fight on its head with a pick onto Mine Rabbit. Rift and Corsa are so low, and without their Baptiste, they don't have that burst healing anymore. And, you know, it's going to be hard-pressed for Golira to bring this back. And with, you know, 98% for GrillMasters, it looks like they're going to take Gardens.
Yeah, that's just going to be Gardens going to GrillMasters off of sheer individual mechanical prowess, right? I don't feel like there was a lot of coordination on targets trying to set up a really big burst. You know, you punch them in, you hit them with a rocket and stickies, whatever. No, it was just individuals finding picks, right? And Golira, unfortunately, they weren't able to outlive that. Now, we've got the RNG of Control Center, and while that composition would have worked great for Grillmasters on Night Market, not so much here. We're going to see the traditional Brawl mirror, quite honorable and honest with the Reinhardt here. We'll see if the Symmetra swap or if they want to stay. Great for melting that shield, and you have the Reinhardt to help you push up when you've got that high charge beam. And we're going to see a quick duel here in a White Room.
Both walls have been expended by the Mei players of both teams. And speaking of Mei players, it's Rift that goes down first and Will finding the second one. So it's a two-player deficit for the side of Golira, and immediately we're seeing Will switching off to that aforementioned Bastion that you were talking about before the match, and GrillMasters taking the first flip after getting 3 picks.
Golira, not so honorable as much. I mean, they're not playing Orisa, but Eisnom's gonna be pretty miserable. Playing Ryan into Sim Bastion? Good luck with that, as we see a TP here trying to catch somebody.
Well, you know, Eisnom is happy to take that duel, I guess. That was a fast fight.
Eisnom making me kind of eat my words here, but I really don't know about that TP from Golira, sorry, because they just got like pounced on. They scouted it out in an enormous shatter. The wall as well to follow up.
Making his presence known, and they, you know, the rest of Golira is happy to back up into spawn, and you know, Eisnom showing off a little bit.
I mean, Eisnom heard me speak and got very angry, apparently, which understandable. So Golira often. They're trying to be a little smarter with their rotations here. Maybe a bait. We'll see another scrappy brawl here.
Blizzard comes out from Will, and it freezes 5 people! 5 are frozen by Will from the side of GrillMasters, and a colossal play in another lightning-fast fight.
I mean, I like what Golira are trying to do with their rotations and in trying to shake it up a bit, but they're still rushing it. GrillMasters can see where your TP is going, and they just plop a Blizzard right on top of it. Now, Golira are finally just pushing up and get a big shatter.
Okay, Exodial on the back, but a great beat in response from Straybor. I mean, JJPT is just caught out of position, and there's just not much that Golira can do. Eisnom does go down, Horrocks drops the beat, so neither Reinhardt are in the fight at this point. And because of the overextension by Eisnom there, it will be Golira finally finding some footing here on a Control Center.
You see, so Golira finally stopped trying to force a TP. They're no longer trying to brute force it. They just walk up to point. And because they have a Bastion that GrillMasters don't, they're able to do that.
Oh no. JJPT is walled off, and Will takes down Horrocks. Eisnom is just holding the W key, and oh my god! Styling on JPT! That the 180 shatter from Eisnom is gonna put GrillMasters ahead and Golira in the dirt, and GrillMasters are gonna take Lijiang Tower.
I mean, that was a utter display of main tank differential if I've ever seen one. Eisnom, incredible on this Reinhardt, just shatter after shatter. I mean, it was like, what? You got 1 shatter out on the side of Golira Esports, that's rough. That's all I've got to say in terms of the Reinhardt duel. I will say that, I don't think Golira, they really played their composition correctly. They didn't play for the value of the Bastion, right? You play the Bastion so that you can shred the Reinhardt shield. But to do that, you actually need to give your Bastion time to walk up and shoot him and force the enemy team to give up space, right? If you just try and go full gas with the Sim TP, the Bastion doesn't get much value. He just gets walked all over. So, heading into our next map here, I want to see a bit of a adjustment here from Golira.
And speaking of that next map, it's going to be King's Row. I mean, Golira wants to play the Reinhardt. And I think that with their loss on Lijiang Tower, they're going to try to run it back. And they don't want to take the disrespect from GrillMasters here. They want to say, hey, we can stand up to these guys. We made it really, really close on, part of Lijiang Tower there. The Control Center map was a little more one-sided towards GrillMasters, but they're trying to, keep it, their spirits high, right? You can't let GrillMasters get into your head if you want to have a chance at making it out of this match alive. If you don't want to have to run it back through the losers bracket. So I mean, King's Row is, traditionally it's the map where you ask the enemy tank, hey, you want the honorable Reinhardt duel?
I mean, yeah, like we said right before we really started this cast, both of these teams, or started this match, I should say, both of these teams, they like playing Brawl, and I don't blame them. It's a fun thing to play. Again, opting to Reinmir on Lijiang. King's Row in Overwatch 2, without the off-tank to really help you control high grounds and angles, has really shifted towards away from the Brawl and towards dive at the highest level. But, between these two teams, I'm not quite sure that's what we're going to see. I think we're going to see a bit more of shatters back and forth, hopefully a little less one-sided this time.
Yeah, and I mean, it looks like GrillMasters want to do something different coming into this map, as Exodial is actually going to be the one playing tank, it looks like, switching with Eisnom. Eisnom going to be taking up the DPS role. So, I mean, I think that GrillMasters are just a supremely confident team in all facets of the game, and obviously the favorites to win this match. It's going to be up to Golira to see if they can find any weakness. And as we see what these teams are going to come out on, I assume it'll be the Reinhardt for Golira. And Exodial, they're still in attacker spawn, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see something different. Yeah, maybe the Zarya, but Golira, coming out on the Bastion Symmetra comp.
So with GrillMasters here, the swap of Eisdom and Exodial here, I'm not convinced that this is a strategic pick. I mean, we'll have to see. We can never know their intentions without asking them. But just looking at how the teams have marked themselves, neither of these have marked themselves as flex players. Will is marked as a flex player, but I think they might be trying to do some off-rolling disrespect.
I mean, if you can't beat it, I guess, if GrillMasters gets smacked for this, they get smacked. But, the Supreme Confidence, like I was talking about, and Exodial already at 60 charge, using both bubbles, I believe, selfishly there. So not getting the max value, that buffed cooldown if you use it on a teammate. Does actually add up, that extra 2 seconds that you get. The bubble onto Yoham, who goes straight up on the flower petal there. Not going to get any value out of that bubble, but Rift and Corsa are going to start off this fight, getting picks onto their counterparts, and JJPT onto Exodia. Golira starting off strong.
I mean, yeah, GrillMasters, a bit of shenanigans here. I mean, Zarya has been hit with nerfs, so that other than the bubble cooldown reduction on the projected, she doesn't receive any of the buffs that she got, you know, to the bubble with the extra HP. So we're going to see a swap here from GrillMasters, going back to the Pharah dupe.
Yeah, and Will already going to work, killing 3! Will on the Pharah has already asserted themselves with 4. Can we make it 5 for the Pharah? Already has a barrage.
I mean, I gotta question the decision-making from Golira here, because why are you walking, you know, out in the open, outside of hotel, against the Pharah? I mean, you know they're gonna just spam you down. I gotta give a shout-out to Straybor, a bit of a silent carry in that fight, for an enormous nade as well there. But, you know, if you want to go onto the back line, use your Sim TP. This is a good time to use a Sim TP and just run it down.
I mean, that's an early pick there from Rift on it to Will. They're actually going to be able to find Yoham out too, attempting the res onto the Pharah. So they're going to be down a couple early in this fight. Will going to be coming back very, very soon though. Speaking of Will, Mine Rabbit goes down here, so they will be without most of their healing. The Shatter comes out, it only hits Exodial. Yoham is linked to that Doomfist, but you know, that's not a lot of healing, and not a lot of burst healing anyway. And the Doomfist will go down. The Doomfist, or actually, that's Yoham getting the resurrection onto Strebor. So it will be Golira though. They're gonna take the advantage here. 2 picks onto both of the DPS, and Horrocks is gonna go, you know, a little bit of taxi action.
Yeah, we'll see how GrillMasters want to approach this. 4 ultimates available. I'm suspecting a Nano Barrage. Icenom's also swapped over to the newly reworked Sombra here, trying to engage on the Lucio.
Horrocks, no! Okay. Yeah.
That was an Ajax. I mean, no. That was just supremely played from GrillMasters, right? You know that the Lucio has beat, so you send the Sombra to hack the Lucio and set up the Doom as well, just for that extra security. Punch him out of his beat. Alex Jackson, a little shout out to you there, as GrillMasters now looking to push into streets.
Yeah, and they're trying to take this space, but Rift doesn't want to give it to him. You're going to see the Virus go out onto Mine Rabbit. The dive from Exodial is also up here as the Valkyrie comes out from Yoham to avoid being put into the pit. Exodial getting very, very low, goes down to Horrocks, and the cart has stopped moving in a very well-placed Virus from Eisnom to help kill the Lucio up there. And GrillMasters' push has stopped for now, as you know, the rest of GrillMasters is in the spawn of Golira. But as they come back, it's just, you know, it's not enough. They're able to take down 2 people early, and GrillMasters just immediately goes back, and Icenom drops the EMP to take down Mine Rabbit.
I think Golira need to make a couple of, just potentially even 1 swap. I don't think the Symmetra is going to get a lot of value against the composition. Who is within your range to beam down here, right? You need something to help deal with Will, because Rift, while they've been able to find a couple picks onto Will, it's a 2v1, right? Because you've got a Mercy Pocket. They need a little bit more support to try and shut down this Pharah from GrillMasters.
I mean, it has to be, if you're only gonna run the Cassidy of Rift, it has to be Mine Rabbit helping with on the Baptiste. And Exodial has the Meteor Strike, so not in any immediate danger. We see the Deadeye coming out from Rift. They're gonna get a little damage onto Eisnom, who instantly translocates to the high ground. Exodial now hindered, getting very, very low, no longer has that get out of jail free card. Goes down as the nano boost comes out onto Will, and with the double damage boost, Will is gonna find 4 kills. Can they make it 5 this time? Eisnom is gonna find the final blow, and Will continuing to dominate.
Golira have to make their ults count here. I do not want to see JJ holding a Shatter here. Just solo Shatter somebody, right? Against Dive, they're never ever going to clump up for an enormous Shatter. Window out from Mine Rabbit.
Yeah, we see the window come out. Horrocks does get the beat off, immediately being punched after it, and a great shatter
That's
from
just what they
JJ, gonna
needed.
take out Exodial. However, it is a trade for Horrocks. Though if you are Golira, you'll take that. Your Lucio comes back fast, and the tank is gone for GrillMasters, and GrillMasters just gonna kite for now.
I mean, that was expensive. Both support ultimates and the shatter from Golira. But they didn't really have much of a choice, as we're going to see EMP and Symmetra Wall.
Yeah, a great response from Corsa there, waiting for the EMP so that the wall doesn't get busted up. So we're going to see change here for GrillMasters. They're going to switch off the Sombra, which has been okay for them, but they're going to go to the Junkrat to try and put a lot more pressure on the JJ. So we'll see if this switch is going to help them out as the time bank crosses 60 seconds. 1 minute left on the clock for GrillMasters here. Eisenam goes down early, though. Mind Rabbit on that far high ground, going to find a little bit of value. A good ante onto JJ, though, by Strebor. Deadeye comes out from Rift. Not going to find a pick. But, I mean, Exodial and Eisenam going to work here. The Nano Boost onto the Junkrat. A horrifying prospect for anybody in the vicinity. And that it's just a celebration. The fireworks from Will. And it's going to probably be a capture here for GrillMasters. No, Corsa gets in, but it's not enough as it's up to Rift. And, you know, the last second touches are coming through. But with 10 or 11 seconds on the clock, GrillMasters are finally going to capture point C here on Kings Row, and with time is great.
I mean, I think that was a good swap there from GrillMasters. It's really difficult to play Sombra or a lot of you know, traditional flankers like your Tracer on this third point here, because there's not really many routes for you and places to play around, right? The high grounds are heavily contested by the defending team, who has the luxury of being set up there first. The only real option is the left side flank, which is not quite the avenue. I think a bit of a misuse of some ultimates there as well definitely cost GrillMasters a bit of time. But ultimately, I mean, they capped with time, so no playing for a draw in this map here.
Well, you know, if Golira finishes the map at all, actually, they could play for a draw, I guess. But you know, even if they do, if they do cap, GrillMasters will have an opportunity, I guess. But
no matter how much time Golira cap with, you cannot play for a draw. There will be OT rounds with
OT, and you can still play for a draw there, right? You know, both teams get a full hold. It doesn't happen very often, but you could do it.
You know what? I stand corrected. My bad. GrillMasters getting a little creative with it.
Well,
and somehow gets a
throws the pancake out, kills Horrocks, but Rift gonna get the trade onto Yoham, killing both supports for GrillMasters, but Will is not having any of it. Exodial goes down, but Will is frying the, you know, the Symmetra 1v1. It does go the way of Corsa, but you know, that's a great start to this attacking round for Golira.
I mean, here you're really getting the full value out of the sim, right? Just letting her absolutely beam everybody down, which is going to mean 5 minutes and 48 seconds on the capture for Golira here. GrillMasters, though, I suspect they're not particularly worried, given how we've seen them play so far. Again, Exodial is not Eisenam on the Reinhardt so far, so might have a bit of a more difficult time playing into the Symmetra Bastion, as we see a sneaky little flank from Eisenam. Doesn't quite finish off the Symmetra.
Yeah, I mean, JJ able to turn around and pin Exodial, but Strebor, you know, so lethal with this Baptiste burst rifle, able to find Horrocks there, and the swinging match begins with the Reinhardts and Eisenam behind Golira Esports. Not going to be able to find any value, goes down early. The window comes out and they're not able to get across the face of it. So Straybor able to take down JJ. Continues to be a nightmare. Continues to be a nightmare on the Baptiste, as I'm not sure what Horrocks is doing, but you need to get out there.
I mean, Straybor just picked up the entire team. We're going to see both the Symmetra Wall and Bastion Artillery.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that visual clutter, you love to see it. Just like we're back in Overwatch 1 with the double shields. Gotta love it, but Corso went down there, so, you know, both walls expended, but only one got killed. Mine Rabbit drops the window, but goes down immediately. Eisnom able to find the Baptiste there, and, I mean, they have the Riptire now, and the only response could be the Shatter from Golira.
I think Eisnom and Will just went up to the high ground and caught the supports off guard there. We're going to see how these Shatters play out.
Let's see the Shatter. The Riptire comes out. The Immortality Field from Mine Rabbit is good for, I think, 2 or 3 people there. So they're going to live there, and Horrocks going to be able to find... Wait, you see Horrocks back there, the little rat? Back there in the very, very far back line. Shatter him! Shatter him, JJ! Do it! Do it, JJ! Okay. Oh! The Shatter Ajax comes out from Exodial. JJPT 9-0 gonna find the pick there during the Shatter cast time, but Eisnom isn't done with this fight yet. In the backline, finding the picks. The grenade sent in by Rift, but not gonna find a target, and Eisnom just has to play safe here.
I mean, JJP getting the MTD without even needing a Shatter. That was just a very nice pin. Respected the potential for a Shatter. Played it safe. And, well, you win off of that.
Yeah, we'll see. JJ still has this Shatter. And a great response from Exodio. Saw the teleporter go behind him and immediately turned around to block the Shatter. Eisnom is being a nightmare in the back line again. And throws the pancake. No look throw from Eisnom. Gonna take down Horrocks. And everybody follows suit from Golira Esports. Spawn room beckons.
I mean, if you're Golira, right, you don't have any DPS who can effectively mark Eisnom, always going on these ambitious flanks, and oftentimes getting a lot of value, right? We actually will see Rift swap over to the Soldier, and so potentially able to do a little better contest, although on Streets phase, Junk's going to be playing in a lot of tight spaces.
It's going to be the window coming out from Mine Rabbit. A pull from Yoham, and Will throws out the wall immediately, but Rift, having switched over to the Sojourn, gonna find Eisnom, who was, you know, more than likely on another flank. So a great pick to get rid of the threat in the backline, and a great pin there from JJ, and Exodial gets finished off by a headshot from Rift. The Lifeweaver from the side of GrillMasters goes down, and Rift making themselves known on the Sojourn.
I mean, that was just an incredible pin from JJ. It was good for 2. Not only you know, the pin, but so we're gonna see Golira try to push their advantage, but you also have the knockback damage, the displacement, picking up another. Just maybe a bit of an overextension here, not quite aware of what resources you exactly have and what space you can really push your limits to, given the fact that GrillMasters have the spawns. But, you know, 2 minutes here on C, not bad.
Eisnom has the Riptire going up to the high ground. Obviously wants to pull this tire here very, very soon. Gonna look for it. Sends Rift up into the sky. But it's gonna be Mine Rabbit, actually, that takes down Straybor, who has been so electric on the Baptiste. So, I mean, Rift as well, been so good, and Exodial almost off the map there with a pin from JJ. Able to be saved by the pull from Yoham, and with that, Golira just wants to hold the S key and get out.
Oh my god!
Okay, JJ gonna find the pick onto Exodial somehow. We're asking the same thing, Exodial.
I mean, Exodial, if you'll excuse my coughing, it was, you know, trying to swing JJ off the map, but got suctioned in because the left shoulder of Reinhardt pulls you in, whereas the right shoulder pushes you. JJ just on this tank, you know, got a bit shut down by Eisnom, but here on King's Row, just not taking the disrespect on the off roll.
Here's the overclock from Rift. It finds 2! Can they make it 3? Will gonna get through the teleporter, throws the window down, so Rift's overclock is good for 2. Horrocks in the face of the Junkrat and the Symmetra. You know, gonna play a little bit safer. You have to. But, I mean, it's just Exodial on the point. It takes down Rift! Eisnom coming back from wherever they were at. Gonna find Corsa. JJPT still trying everything to keep this alive, and Mind Rabbit and JJ are dominating from the high ground, and JJPT with 4, they're gonna capture with 30 seconds, and I mean a minute 20 on the clock for Golira going into extra rounds.
JJ is showing that they are no slouch on this Reinhardt whatsoever. I mean, you just had Mind Rabbit playing a very smart position up on that high ground. You know, very difficult to contest in these overtime situations. So despite the fact that, you know, Golira kind of put themselves in a bad spot by having everybody play onto cart and swarmed onto by the 2 sides of GrillMasters trying to cook them coming out of spawn, JJ and Mind Rabbit there, just incredible display of clutch performance here, which means that they're going to have the advantage heading into OT rounds, getting to defend and having 20 seconds more on their time bank. And you look at GrillMasters, they're off the Lifeweaver. They're on Bastion Sim. They are done messing around. They know that they don't want to drop this map to Golira.
Yeah, I mean, Golira, you know, I think most people would agree, the heavy underdogs in this fight. Right, they lost to GrillMasters 3-0 earlier on in the season, and you know GrillMasters 9-0. It was an 8-week season, you know, but you know Golira handing it to GrillMasters here, you know, and look significantly leveled up since their last encounter. The TP from Will onto the high ground of Golira, and you know they're already ready to go. I mean, Rift is on a flank, and that stick is going to be good. It won't find the pick because of great peel by Yoham, and, you know, the focus on breaking the teleporter might actually come back to bite Golira. I mean, I think they could have killed Will if they were focused on the actual Symmetra, but they're going to capture the point in just 40 seconds, and they're not done.
I mean, I don't like the Cassidy pick here from Rift, because you see what GrillMasters are able to do with the Bastion, right? They just walk onto point. And Golira are forced to back off because you can't just stand there as a Reinhardt against Bastion turret form. So you're going to see Golira make the decision to mirror the Bastion. I think this is smart here, but obviously they're facing a deficit in the ult economy. The Bastion nade plus window, extremely deadly. The Bastion turret plus window, deadly. The Fire Strike plus window, deadly. It's all on Yoham to set their team up for a good fight here.
And I've been saying it for the past 2 months since Bastion has been meta. Most terrifying thing in the game right now, a Bastion behind a window. JJ, so very low, the shield as well. I mean, needs healing by Mind Rabbit, who just isn't looking at him right now. But, you know, that'll be a window for Mind Rabbit as well as Yoham here. Yoham puts the window up on high ground, and JJPT going to find Will through the window. But Eisnom from the high ground, just looking down on the enemy, raining hell from above. It's not Pharah, it's a Bastion. But, you know, you could dominate from the sky on Bastion, apparently.
If there's a will, there's a way, and that way was found on the high ground with the TP from Eisnom. Didn't even need to use the window there. They just, you know, held M1 onto the poor folks of Golira from below. See if the artillery picks up anything. Just clearing out the CD for Immortality Field. That could be big coming into this fight.
Window comes out from Corsa. Will almost has theirs in response. The Shatter comes out. It hits Exodial, but there's just too much damage without the shield there for JJ. And the rest of GrillMasters just holds W and walks on them, and Mind Rabbit says, this isn't worth it, I'm just gonna throw myself off the map, try and get one more fight.
I mean, getting shattered when you have a sim wall is a little bit of a rough proposition here. Exodial still has the shatter.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's coming back for GrillMasters, but, I mean, the shield is so low, it hits 2 for Golira. Somehow not JJ. The beat comes out from Horrocks, and it's 0.06 meters to go, and it's just Horrocks left on the point. Will find Will, but will not find the way, and that is gonna be GrillMasters, you know, fully capping with just a minute.
I mean, GrillMasters, they're done their trolling. They've locked in. They are the chef de cuisine here. Golira have a tough battle ahead of them, having to push all the way to point 3 and capping it with just a minute 20 seconds, no time bonuses whatsoever. And then if they can make it all the way there, they have another OT round to deal with. I think Golira, they really need to play for some of the value of their DPS a lot more, right? I want to see TPs from Corsa getting the same kind of angles that Will is able to create. Rift on that Bastion has to absolutely shut down Exodial. And yeah, GrillMasters know how tight this battle, or tough, I should say, for Golira is, which means they're back on Junkrat Lifeweaver, Fletch.
Yeah, I think they're confident, right? You know, they tried on their second attack, and it showed. they dominated. Let that be clear. So
Golira,
I think they're a little more confident going into this defense that they can get away with the Lifeweaver.
I mean,
oh no,
that's an incredible punish.
Great. That's
Golira
great.
have the better composition, so they need to take advantage of the fact that GrillMasters doesn't have the same sustain, doesn't have the damage, and punish them for it.
Yeah, they will.
Hubris
Ripped.
gets you killed, and we'll see if GrillMasters has an Icarus a moment. No Ilari needed whatsoever.
Yeah, and Will now switching over to the Mei. It's a great disengage from GrillMasters. You know, only a 30-second attack here for Golira. They're able to take the point. A great pick from Rift onto Strebor. They don't have anybody on the cart though, so you know they're
the
fighting.
fight win.
They're fighting.
You
they're
get
gonna
the
win.
ult charge,
but the time is wasted. Somebody from GrillMasters is on the cart right now. Actually, I think it's Eisnam who just took out Horrocks.
Yeah. Islam picks up Horrocks, who's finally looking to push the cart, but gets caught off by the sneaky rat here. Bit of a sewer demon, if you will. Golira, though,
That's just called a brash person.
The GrillMasters have this tree of life to work with, could shut down this shatter. Rift, meanwhile, has to find something with the artillery.
Nothing with the shatter from JJ, unfortunately. But Yoham is under a lot of pressure. Airstrike comes out from Whiff, not going to find a pick, but Eisnam will. So, Will with 2. Shatter comes out from Exodial, but it's just a celebration, and that will be GrillMasters just staring Horrocks down, and that will be GrillMasters taking King's Row if they kill Horrocks at some point. The beat comes out. Horrocks going to find Eisnam. Horrocks staying alive. And Rift is back. So, a little bit of hubris. They're down 1. I mean, the rest of Golira is on their way back. And Mind Rabbit able to drop the window. And, you know, gonna get taken down by Will. But everybody from the side of GrillMasters is very, very, very low. Golira without Mind Rabbit, though. They're gonna be a little bit worse for wear, but they're gonna be pushing the cart.
This is some top-tier... mischievous shenanigans. Bit of a devious, like,
don't these guys know I have to go to class?
kind of some devilish.
Goodness.
I mean,
what is happening?
You know, we will see how close to the sun exactly GrillMasters will fly, because you know, that 3rd point push. Well, Golira Esports have just finished 2nd.
Yeah, they have, and I mean, they have the pulse bomb ready to go, and they don't have an immortality field to save them anymore. So, I mean, we're staring down the face of Golira potentially evening it up 6-6, a TP onto the
GrillMasters
high
have so many
ground.
ults though.
Eisenam gets nano boosted, and Exoial and JJ run off the map, and that'll be it. On a colossal riptire from the Junkrat of GrillMasters, and that is it. You know, they were flying a little bit close to the sun, but they realized, hey, it's getting a little hot. Let's cool off a little bit, and you know, exploded on Golira, and that'll be a match point.
Yeah, match point, and our next map is going to be Flashpoint, which I wonder what kind of brawl composition both of these teams want to pull out from here. I mean, obviously, from GrillMasters, you could expect everything under the kitchen sink just thrown out, you know? I would not be surprised if we see a hog coming out, you know, on our screens right now.
Oh, I would. I don't think GrillMasters would even stoop that low. I don't know. But, you know, what we will know is after we get back from break, we'll know what map we're going to for Flashpoint. I think it's gonna be Servasa, but we're gonna cut it to a break. 5 minutes. Stick around. We'll be back in just a few minutes.
Don't go anywhere.
All right, welcome back, everybody. We've got, the scoreline doesn't say how close that this series has been, especially on Kings Row. It's GrillMasters up 2-0 against Golira Esports. I'm joined still by Boom Diata. Last map was kind of insane.
Yeah. Just so we're clear to all the folks in the chat, by the way. The real Boom is the one with the name Headrammer, Yeah,
no,
moderator,
actually,
founder, 58-month sub tag.
It's in the Fletch. Thank you. I think that's.
Oh, right. Sorry, I forgot. That's the my bad.
The real Boom.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of Boom, I don't know if Golira might be a little boomed after that Kings Row. They put up a good fight despite the trolling coming out from GrillMasters, but unfortunately just weren't able to get it out in the end.
Yeah, GrillMasters tried to let them have it, especially late in the extra round attack. They just refused to kill Horrocks, and eventually Golira was able to come back, and though Horrocks went down in that fight, they were able to bring it back somehow. But, they did go down in this second map. So they do have the third map pick here, and it is going to be Servasa. Who could have guessed? Nobody seems to like New Junk City, and that trend seems to continue.
I mean, the sight lines on New Junk City are a little more awkward. They're open. There's so many annoying angles to deal with. Trying to re-enter is difficult, so no surprise here whatsoever. Look at that, just that scoreline for GrillMasters, 6-5. You don't see that every day of the week.
No, you don't, and it's what's gonna make me late for class in it. But
yeah, I want to talk about Flashpoint a little bit, because it's such a fast-paced game mode, incredibly fast. Fights. So, we've seen basically both of these teams play more or less Rhine the entire time. I think it's a little more difficult to do on Flashpoint. You traditionally see a lot of Junker Queen being played because, the Junker Queen composition is basically as high tempo as it gets, save for if you're Zebra's team, I guess, if you're Gouche. Orisa as well, pretty difficult to stop the battle cattle. Bit of a I'm at a loss for my words here, but unstoppable force versus immovable object, and Orisa is that immovable object. That being said, though, I also wouldn't be surprised if these teams just want to commit to the Rhine, enjoy themselves a little.
Yeah, I think they could run Rhine if they wanted to. I don't think, like you said, I don't think it's the best pick. But, as long as they have, the most important hero by far on either of the Flashpoint maps is Lucio. So if these teams have a Lucio, I think they should be all right if the Reinhardt is what they want to do. But it is going to be interesting to see. We saw GrillMasters, they trolled a little bit. We are seeing Exodial returning to the DPS position on this map. It'll be Eisenam picking up the tank role once again. So maybe they do want to run the Doomfist.
We'll see. Lucio, like you said, almost mandatory here on Flashpoint, so probably expected. Again, the Reinhardt, you have to have a very smart rotations, making good usage of your shield to actually take map control, take space, because otherwise you're just dealing with too many angles. That's why these fast tempo comps are so favored, because you can just get straight onto the enemy team, right? You know, I had a bit of a prediction as for the tank we might see from GrillMasters on our third map here. You know, on one hand, Hog is certainly a pick. On the other hand, I think this could be interesting to watch, and I certainly wouldn't mind if my prediction rang true.
Eisnom? Eisnom? Eisnom?
Eisnom.
Okay. All right,
Eisnom.
man. Okay. All right. So we're getting into market here in just a few seconds. GrillMasters are playing Roadhog. That's the sentence. That's the call, I guess.
On that Weber barbecue, cooking things up. Golira obviously going to have an easier time just bunkering on point here. It's really going to be a question of, can you either A, just melt the Hog with the Bastion, or B, get a really good TP from Corsa onto somebody in GrillMasters, because most of them don't have great escape options.
Yeah, I mean, JJ, you know, you don't have to work very hard to get these picks. They have to come to you, especially because they're playing a Roadhog. And the Roadhog goes down, Corsa and Exodial trade each other. You know, you don't see that very often, but it's going to be Golira already at 40% here on market, and the Lucio duel has, you know, ended as quickly as it started.
Well, deciding they're maybe not as much of a Junkrat prodigy as Eisnom, swapping over to the Bastion here. We'll see how they reapproach this. I mean, could be on... It's a pretty pick-heavy comp, looking for Eisnom or Exodial to find something. Oham, of course, with the headshot kunai, could poke somebody out as well. But, that's a window Bastion.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage, and they're at 90%, and they have ultimates and Rift from downtown, taking out Will with the tactical grenade, and that will be Golira taking the first point here on market. Eisnom gonna be able to take down JJ, but it's too little too late.
I mean, a bit of a slightly early window there from Golira. GrillMasters were able to LOS it pretty quickly, but the thing that they were not expecting is that Scatter Arrow is back. The ricochet in the form of the Bastionade through window just blew GrillMasters up. So that's going to be the point going to Golira. And they've got ultimates to work with, some that I would argue are a little better than GrillMasters.
Yeah, and we're getting in here soon, very, very soon into a fight on Ruins. GrillMasters is going to take the first flip here as the Kitsune Rush comes out. I'm not sure where. Okay, it's behind Golira. The whole Hog is going to shove JJ into a corner. And great hook there from Eisnom to put Horrocks in the same corner. And that will be GrillMasters taking the first flip. But, you know, they popped 3 ultimates to do it.
I mean, I gotta question what JJ was doing there on point. There was a, so we head into a pause here. There was a fight breaking out on the other side with Oham dropping that Kitsune rush. But you just saw JJ on point chasing a Lucio of all things. And subsequently, your actions have consequences. Gets punished for it from that whole hog from Eisnom.
Yeah, that's not really what you want to do as a Reinhardt, right? I mean, Eisnom had got a really good hook late onto Horrocks. That's a way that you could do it, right? If you want to kill the Lucio, but
yeah,
I mean,
speaking of Horrocks dying, that is our technical issue here. Horrocks is dead in terms of the video game. So, if you're wondering what the reason for the pause is, there you go.
Hopefully, it wasn't a full DC because Horrocks did have sound barrier. So, well, actually, Horrocks called for the pause, so I don't think Horrocks is actually out of the lobby at the moment. But it was a great fight from GrillMasters there to start off Ruins. They're already at 42% on the point. They only have the sound barrier. Golira has 3 ultimates of their own.
Looks like we're heading back in.
So both teams are ready to go back in. We'll see how Golira is going to be able to respond after GrillMasters kind of walked it down on them.
I mean, they have this Symmetra wall, right? which is going to cut LOS for so many things. I mean, your Hog becomes very incapacitated. Your Widow, of course, just loses sightlines completely. This should be favored for Golira, especially with that first pick onto Exodial. Interesting beat.
Yeah, I mean, Exodial goes down early, so that, that headshot pick potential is now gone. Golira at 88% is going to take their first flip here on Ruins. Hook a little bit wide right there for Eisnom, so not going to find any value right there. But the rest of GrillMasters are, regrouping and ready to come in. A wild hook there from Eisnom. Gets cleansed in the face of Rift on the Bastion. Kind of is a damage sponge on the Roadhog, as, Roadhog tends to be. But GrillMasters, they found Will on the Soldier 76, so, I mean, they're still in the back foot for GrillMasters.
I mean, Golira, they've got a lot of ultimates to work with. We've seen how strong the Bastion window combo can be. The artillery fire, gonna catch Straybor, actually.
So, yeah, they find Straybor with the airstrike, and, the tactical visor came out from Will, but, they're just finding everything here. And I think that's actually going to be it. I think Ruins is cooked for GrillMasters.
I mean, yeah, they
don't touch. That's good. So that's going to be 2-0 for Golira here on Servasa.
Well, I wonder if GrillMasters are going to finally swap as we see Eisnom on the Reinhardt here. I don't really like the Ashe pick here from Exodial. I think it's too hard to get value. I mean, a lot of the times you're staring into a Rein shield. Unlike a soldier, you don't have the mobility to take as hard of off angles. So, and, good old caster curse.
Eat your words, Boom Diana. Eat them. They probably taste very bad. But, the Switch already, showing its merit, taking down the Lucio early with a great headshot from Exodial. So, without their Lucio, Golira does not have the means to engage, and they back out. But luckily for them, Horrocks is already back, so they're immediately ready to get back into the fight. The window comes out from Mine Rabbit, but Exodial once again taking down Horrocks. JJ is in the back line, and they have the Earth Shatter, but is so low. So is Straybor on the Ana, but Exodial and Eisnom are going to town.
J-O-A-D-X-Y. I'm speaking alphabet soup, because with how much I'm eating my words, I guess I might as well do that. Exodial picked up so many on the Ashe and already has Bob.
Yeah. So, the Ashe showing off why. A great fake teleport there from Corsa, but not enough to trick Eisnom, who is wise to the whole attempt there from JJ, and it'll only be Exodial going down in this fight, and GrillMasters are going to fall. The Blizzard, maybe a bit of an over-investment there from Will as they TP out of it. But they're going to take Palace for GrillMasters, so, the reverse sweep maybe?
I mean, GrillMasters are back in the backyard. They're finally doing something. They've got ultimates to work with as well. I mean, I hope that they wouldn't get caught off by the Bastion artillery. The sim wall, as I say that, Rift doesn't need any carpet bombing to pick off Exodial.
Yeah, Rift able to find the first pick onto the Ashe, and Eisnom 45 HP and a Dream. You gotta think, ooh, no, Horrocks needs to get out of there. 40 HP and a Dream. Gonna pop that healing boost, and Eisnom tried to get in there, find some value, could not, goes down, and Rift from downtown once again gonna take down Will, and it's gonna be Golira taking the first flip here on Temple.
I mean, the only thing that GrillMasters have to work with is the Nano, right? And while a Nano Rein doesn't care about the Symmetra Wall as much as a lot of other heroes, they're still staring into 4 ultimates from Golira Esports. If they can cycle this well, they could take us to another map 4 here, a reverse sweep potentially forming.
Yeah, And the airstrike comes out from Rift. It does not find anything, but the nano boost does come out onto Eisnom, who, you know, that nano boost damage reduction doesn't do much in the face of a windowed Bastion. So it's gonna be Golira. You know, this is gonna be really, really close. I don't think that GrillMasters are gonna have the chance to come back. They might if they're lucky, but I think that Servasa
they can get a desperation touch, but it's not going to be worth much, especially considering how many ultimates
that's a great
Golira
boot by
have.
Horrocks! Eisnom can't get back, and that's Servasa going to Golira Esports.
I mean, that was just very well played from Golira. Perfectly set up and timed window. Because, you know, you have the defender's advantage, right? Let them come to you. So you see Eisnom try and walk up with the nano boost, and despite getting all the resources in the world, the Mei Wall, the Suzu, you still get melted by the window Bastion.
Yeah, that's you know, not to sound like a cliche meme, but that's a lot of damage. Like, that's probably, you know, short of a nano boosted damage boosted windowed Roadhog headshot or Widow headshot. I think that's about as much burst damage as you could get right now. But like a great response from Golira. They're not done. They did take Servasa here. I do generally think that Flashpoint is seen as a bit of a swing map type, right? You know, a team is struggling, they go to Flashpoint, and, you know, with it being a newer map type, I think, and, you know, a lot of teams still getting used to it, you know, a team that's struggling can often find success and a little bit of momentum on Flashpoint. So going forward to start this reverse sweep, that's a great response from Golira. They're not done yet.
Absolutely not, Fletch. I mean, you could see, like, there were some wins, some points that they got off the back of, you know, having ultimate cycles from, you know, playing against Roadhog, but like they're making good plays here, right? I think they're slowly but surely figuring out what they need to do to shut down GrillMasters here, and GrillMasters will now have the map pick for push here. Obviously, only 3 choices here, so we'll be heading into everybody's favorite, Streets of Portugal, heading to Esperança.
It's one of the, I think, most wide open push maps. You can play just about anything you want on it. I do kind of expect to see the Reinhardt again, especially from Golira. I think GrillMasters, it looks like... Okay, I got baited by Will. I saw Sigma up there for something that y'all can't see right now, but maybe the Sigma could come out here. That's actually a really good shout if you want to run the Sigma here.
Yeah, like you said, teams like picking Esperança because you have so many options for compositions you're able to play. You can kind of play any of the 3 main archetypes if you execute it correctly, and it's a lot less snowbally than a new Queen Street or a Coliseo, right? I don't see as many complete stomps, full caps on Esperança, I feel. Very curious to see what the teams want to pull out here, especially GrillMasters. Yeah, GrillMasters, no Piggy today. Instead, we are going to get the queen of Junkertown, of course, herself. Exodial on the Sojourn, quite a popular pick in this day and age. Has so much just ability to kind of do it all, right? Golira, meanwhile, they're sticking to what seems to be their bread and butter with the Rhine Brawl, backed up by that Bastion and Symmetra. So GrillMasters looking for that wall value, looking to play real fast. Golira, meanwhile, opting to try and melt down GrillMasters, see if they can burn their grill.
Yeah, so the first fight gonna be here around the early bot. You know, GrillMasters taking this far side. A great little knife there from Eisnom on the Junker Queen. GrillMasters opting to, you know, not take the early positioning on the robot like Golira did. But the fight it's only just beginning here on Esperanza. We see Exodial trying to get some value, a little bit of a headshot there from Exodial. Not going to find a pick early there, but, you know, both of these teams, no one taking a whole lot of damage at the moment. Mind Rabbit did throw the Immortality Field out very, very early there, so they're not going to have that durability to take that railgun shot from Exodial, and Exodial looking so scary behind the entire team of Golira Esports, and make that 3 for the Sojourn, and that's going to be it. The bot is going to be going towards Golira, and they're going to make a little bit of a change.
Yeah, Rift finding themselves a little too hard to get the Bastion value, feeling like they're being walked on, being shot at by Exodial here, so opting for a slightly different tank shredder in the form of Mr. Wraith. GrillMasters, though, they've got a window, and Exodial's coming on that overclock as well. We might see some one-shots or a Lucio diff.
Yeah, Horrocks falls in the Lucio duel there to Strabor. Corsa in the back line, that teleporter is gone. So no means of escape, and JJ, only pick they're able to find there is the Immortality Field.
Yeah. I think we should see another fight before the capture point here. Of course, the barrier phase of the bot, a lot slower. Golira looking to build that window, get some good value out of it. I think it has to come from the fire strikes, because unless Rift is some sort of a mechanical prowess, or yep, as we're gonna see a fire strike from JJ, no window required.
So what? 5 on the rampage from Eisnom, and Exodial is happy to clean it up. Eisnom and Exodial going to work. Eisnom cutting everybody down. That is the Queen of Junkertown, everybody.
Yeah, and off the back of that, that's gonna be the capture point for GrillMasters here. Only using the Rampage is extremely nice as well. I think Golira might have forced that a little too fast. I would have liked them to play for the window there, but you know, they've still got the Shatter and both support ultimates to work with. GrillMasters will have the beat to respond.
As the fight comes back, Golira Esports able to get back on the bot as GrillMasters backed up after they pushed that far. You know, we've got some ultimates coming up here for both sides. Just about 4 for Golira and 4 for GrillMasters. Whoa. The Shatter is big, but the window is even bigger. The Blizzard comes out from Will, and the freeze on Horrocks, who is, you know, outside the radius of that Blizzard, but you know, that just doesn't matter in the game. And that will beat GrillMasters, continuing their dominance on Esperanza.
I mean, that beat was unfortunately just too late from Horrocks. JJ was committing to that fight. 1 HP with nowhere to back out, just throws out the Shatter and hits 2. But unfortunately, without the beat to sustain, there's just no follow-up on those kills. So GrillMasters are going to continue to push. Going to see a bit of pushback here. Rift looking to swing onto the enemy with a Blizzard here, walking onto the high ground. See if they can catch anybody.
And they see some people. The Blizzard comes out. I don't know who it freezes. If it freezes anyone, it will get Yoham frozen, but as soon as Rift comes out of the ice block, Exodial puts Rift down, as do they put down Horrocks. JJ, though, swinging that hammer, cleaving through the opposition, and that will finally be Golira finding some success.
It really should have happened a fight ago. You know, a nice Blizzard from Rift there. GrillMasters not able to scout it out properly, but I do not think the Symmetra is getting any value here. There's nobody to beam, really, and you're not TPing onto anybody. So I want to see if Corsa can pull something out. If not, it's going to be on Mind Rabbit here to try and build up a nano before Eisnom just devastates the rest of Golira with a Rampage.
I mean, Eisnom so close to that Rampage. Colossal the last time it was ripped. What can they do with it this time? I guess we'll just have to wait.
Golira
and
have no
see.
Suzu or beat.
And they don't have an Immortality Field. So, it's going to be up to Mind Rabbit. I mean, how are you going to use this nano boost to respond? You don't have a nano boost. It's gone. The shout is out from Eisnom, but they still have the Rampage. JJ is able to take down Exodial, but, you find the one pick, it's just not enough. And GrillMasters continues to show why they're the #1 seed in this playoff.
They needed to nano there. I mean, GrillMasters was kind of doing them a favor by just posturing there, because they should know that Horrocks doesn't have beat, and they had the Rampage, but they allowed Mind Rabbit to build up the nano. Despite that, though, they just stood around with it and let GrillMasters, who have the better poke value with the Sojourn, just kill everybody.
Speaking of poke, Rift is going to be able to poke Will out of this fight. A bit of a May differential there. The Ice Block is out from Rift now, so... Oh, and that impact damage is going to take down Horrocks. I mean, it's a great Blizzard attempt by Rift, but Exodial with 3 kills there. And it's another colossal Rampage by Eisnom. Been absolutely showing out on this map so far.
I mean, that's a good Rampage commitment from Eisnom. If had it been any later, Horrocks might have had the beat. Not too sure why JJ shattered here, but you'll see more swaps. Corsa finally on the May and Rift on the Reaper here. Window out from GrillMasters, just buys them a bit of space. Still looking for this nano boost from Mind Rabbit, though.
Oh no, Mind Rabbit. It looked like Mind Rabbit just walked right back into the disruptor shot. And with that, Eisnom is able to just cut through everybody. Rift goes down, Corsa goes down, JJ follows, so does Horrocks. I mean, they just can't find footing.
They need to just brute force it at this point with a nano boost, because GrillMasters have a 110-meter lead, and they have only 2 minutes to go. You finally see the nano boost, looking for the nade, unable to catch anybody, though.
I mean, actually, that's a great Blizzard by Will, and I mean... I don't think JJ would have been caught in that Blizzard had it not been for a great knife from Eisnom to pull him in.
Yeah, this is very difficult if you're Golira here. I mean, GrillMasters, they might play this cheeky, but if they wanted to, they could just back off. I mean, look at their lead. 25 meters and counting. They just need a second to build up the overclock and the Rampage, and it could very well be over for Golira.
Yeah, it's looking very, very strenuous at the time.
Eisnom has Rampage.
For Golira, Eisnom does have the Rampage, but is antied. Horrocks on the high ground is able to take down Exodial, but Will answers in kind with 2 picks. Corsa drops the Blizzard, doesn't find a freeze, but I mean, JJ is just so low, and that is gonna be it. GrillMasters with a full capture on Esperanza, going to take down Golira Esports 3-1, and they're going to move on in the winner's bracket. I mean, a great performance by both teams, but, they just barely got edged out by GrillMasters. Well, not on Esperanza, but the other maps were really, really close.
I mean, it was close, but I think you also have to consider that GrillMasters do a bit of trolling, right? Kings Row, we saw quite the things happening, let's say, between some of the picks, some of the play styles, and I think all that really goes to show you is how incredibly dominant GrillMasters are in our EU Open PC tier, right? Golira, like we've seen from them, they are no slouches themselves. They finished 5-3 in the regular season. But GrillMasters, this is a team that has gone undefeated, dropping only 1 map so far in the mid-season tournament, and only dropping a map today because they played Roadhog. Let's be honest here.
Yeah, I mean, GrillMasters was able to kind of hand it to them, or it was a really close map on King's Row when it was the Reinhardt duel, but even that map had GrillMasters trolling a little bit, where they allowed Golira to capture the second point. But, I mean, I'm looking at GrillMasters. They're my favorite to win this tournament too. I mean, they're looking scary. I mean, I don't know. The fact that you can troll against a 5-3 team and still come out on top by a pretty big margin. I mean, that's scary.
Yeah, they are definitely the team to beat. I mean, like they said in the opponent picking stream, they had the confidence. They said, the second best team is still a team they would stomp, right? So if we want to take a look at the bracket here for our tournament, this is double elimination. So we will have Golira Esports joining the Plague in the lower bracket. So for fans of them, you're not out quite yet. Obviously, GrillMasters punching their way up. The favorites, like we said, for this tournament, almost certainly.
They're going to move on to the quarterfinals here in the winners bracket. They're going to play the winner of Max Value versus AFMT, Air Fry Mariana Trench. I mean, that should also be a great match. AFMT, another great team here in the EU PC Open tier. So I'm looking forward to that. But unfortunately, we have no more of this match to look forward to. So
no more of this match, of GrillMasters versus Golira Esports. But in just a few short hours, I believe 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, so that's about 4.5 hours from now. We should have a slew of consecutive matches. We're gonna start off with Red Team versus Striking Doom in the NA Console Open Team. Just an hour after that, in the same league, we've got Team Big Dogs versus Arctic Wintons. And following another hour after that, in the NA PC Open tier, we've got Yikes versus Spy Checked. So, quite the schedule for folks today, assuming that everything goes well on the production side. So you'll want to tune in for those.
Yeah, I will be joined by Chef Billy and I guess Boom. You'll be there too, but from the production booth. But that is gonna do it for us tonight here on the EU side of things. It was GrillMasters taking down Golira Esports to move forward to the quarterfinals in our EU PC Open tier. I hope everybody enjoyed that match. God knows I did. But Boom, do you have any closing thoughts going at the end of the stream?
Will was talking about how Horrocks is a silly little guy, but I feel like we saw the most silliness coming out of GrillMasters, but more importantly, they got away with it. What a terrifying team to face.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, but that is going to do it for us tonight. Thank you all for watching, and whether you're EU or NA, I hope that y'all will join us later in the evening. So thank you all for watching, and good night or good afternoon, I guess.
Have a good one, everybody. Take care.
Got lots of love. Got lots of love.